All right, folks, welcome on back here this Tuesday, June 3rd. Great to have all of us back here inside our live trading room. So Roberto just before, Dave, Larry, Kerry, you got all of us just here, otherwise rejoining us at least. So a nice trade from Roberto, though, on the BMGL stock. So really quick, let me just get a mic check for all of us inside our live trading room. You got me on the mic here heading into the close. You got Fausto in class, so make sure that I'm taken care of here, right? So great to see Fred, Bill, and all of us just otherwise, Barbara, Charles, etc. So without further ado, let's hop into it because as I just mentioned, we do have our class coming on up here ahead. So the phase 3 stock course, which I mean, pretty much nearly all of us that wrote back to me here, Bill, Barbara, Charles, Greg, Wendy, Larry, are at least gold level students where you have access to join Fausto in our advanced class. The phase 3 stock course, just trading live, the market open, here now, the market closed. So Fausto came off a great morning session. I know that for a fact because I had a couple of students I was chatting with earlier today on a coaching session with one, and then just on a quick phone call with one of our new gold students, both telling me how great of a class it was. Just an active market, a lot to go and talk about. You know, the purpose of phase 3 for all of our students, at least, you know, Leda certainly knows, but like even Scott, you could say Kamar, or any of our members here just joining us, keep in mind, we're doing this for educational purposes. We're not trying to make like, oh, $10,000 in one afternoon. Is it possible? Absolutely. With size it is. So we're not like trying to like trade big size in phase 3 class, both Fausto and myself. It's just all about the education behind it, understanding why a stock is moving the way it is. So at least for right now, RSLS, hey, this is moving up just before a moment ago here. We were calling it out throughout most of the day. And I'm in this right now. I still have half my position left, but I'm like nearly break even on the second half as of right now. Listen, I took half out just earlier as it pushed up towards 8, failed to really pop over 8 at that point. I was looking for a nice, breakout. Ooh, nice iceberg here, though, showing up. Order on the bid stacking up here right around 722, 730-ish right now. But more or less, I was just looking at the CVP area and saying, hey, if this could bust over this big buying and big volume and flip it into support, there's a chance, at least the prospect behind it running. So if it's not going to flip resistance into support, it just took me out at least there. I pretty much went break even, I'd say. I made a decent amount on the first half, got stopped out smaller on the second half here below 740. All right, if it wants to run, it'll run, right? If right now, we're not going to put this on our watch list here so far with it pulling back. Speaking of run, at least, the other trade I'm in on right now, at least top right, you could see that there. But run is doing pretty good for us. Nice move up earlier today. Sun run. Shout out to my friend Matt. He just works there. But, nonetheless, at least this is a big gap fill. Dropped off quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. Moving back up now. So I'll put this at least on our watch list so far. You got the Sun run trade. I'm sure it's the other energy companies together. We'll see. Array is up a little bit today, not holding up as well right now near the highs like the Sun run is. Enphase maybe, ENPH. Yeah, this one's doing pretty good too. Pretty similar type of move, gap fill from the other day. I could put this on our list, ENPH. I don't mind doing that at least right now. I'm sure we're going to build up a pretty big watch list though heading into the afternoon because there was a lot to talk about here from just before. MTCR. I mean, this thing's all over the map right now, right? Ended up popping up from earlier over $10, moved up towards as high as 15, came back down. Pretty much just focus on your $5 levels, really. $10, $15, which was virtually resistance, $14.90, $15. And then from there now, it needs to hold over, I'd say $20. Kind of chopping around there for a little while. It's up 330%. The more any stock goes up, you can't expect it to play as nice from where it was an hour ago, from where it was earlier in the morning. So yeah, it's cutting through 20 quite a bit, needs to prove itself to us here heading into the afternoon, but it's near the highs, so I'll add it. This is more of a category 5 stock though, so this is exactly why I just said what I said. We're not trying to like hit the grand slam home run in class because we're doing that normally when we're not in class. There's a time and place. So for something as volatile as this, I'm certain Fausto will look to trade this with our students, right? For as volatile and as crazy as this is, we'll probably trade it, but you don't want to trade this on big size, right? Because if you're wrong, there's a good chance you're going to be very wrong. So, we're not here to play casino. We're not here to roll the dice or play blackjack. I mean, we'll probably go around August time to Hard Rock by me. But yeah, there's a time and a place for that, right? So NIVF getting back to this trade, same to be said. This was pop and drop early in pre-market. It made a pretty good move after the open, but came back down. So we've moved on a long while ago. RSLS maybe trying to pop back up. If it does pop back up after this meeting, I'll come back to it. I don't think I put this on our main list yet. At this point, I probably will. I'll just add it now. The RSLS trade, still going to keep it in mind heading into the close. FTRK fast track group then got halted like what, 4 times here at this point? Was this 1, 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. Yeah, that's not really what I'm trying to trade. You know what I mean? There's easier trades to work with that don't need to get halted umpteen times over in order for us to make money. So, kids got halted a couple times today. I'll take a couple. I don't need umpteen times, right? So, this got halted once or twice, came back down. And what do you know? This reversed right around 10:30, on the later side of 10:30 by a few minutes, but came back down shortly afterwards. It's still kind of holding there a little bit. It's kind of holding there a little bit, but for right now, we'll come back to it if we need to. TNGX. Let's build up this watch list pretty quick. You got Fausto in class waiting right now for our students. Make sure that he's prepped up and ready to go, and all of our members otherwise there. Let's see. Anything else looking good from this gainer side? CoreWeave. Jesus Christ. Talk about a maniac stock. This thing off its IPO got crushed at first. Doesn't look like it based on what happened afterwards. But yeah, this thing took completely off though. I mean, it popped up, went up to 62, and dropped all the way back down to 34. But, afterwards, this thing is just taking a life of its own. So yeah, I'm going to put this on our list. All-time highs. Could be like a nice, interesting trade to work with. MMA, not really doing great right there. I mean, a little spotty graph. See if there's anything looking better. Another energy stock, I think perhaps SPWR, Sun Company, Energy Company. Solar, I should say Sun. I've already had 2 coffees in me, so I shouldn't. That's what I tell you. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Speech impediments, traders, dyslexia, whatever you want to call it. All right, VG, a little flat right now, like the last 5-10 minutes, pretty flat. It's had a great day today, so maybe if it wants to wake up more, we can call it out after, but see if there's better opportunity here. Damn, I'll tell you what, number 30 is up 18%. So S&P's at the high of the day, Q's at the high of the day. Let me actually go back to this one. What was this? ATYR, another pharma stock. Even though it's pulling back a bit, it's still making higher lows progressively throughout the day. It's got a good spread, good order book. So, you know what? I'll give it a chance here. I'll put that on our list. CTRN, you got the UMAC trade. This thing, I think it's Trump affiliated too, if I'm not mistaken. UMAC, been making higher highs throughout the afternoon, still kind of making higher lows. So kind of similar to the ATYR. I'll add that. UMAC. NPWR, Net Power, not a bad graph today. It's just a little slow right now. Last few minutes, maybe even. So I'll come back to this trade. I'll come back to it on last call as we go through for the next chance here on the gainer side. All right. So if there's anything else, folks, I mean, there's a few more things that are up percentage wise, but I want to make good with time. If anything else looks good, Michael, Kathleen, Barbara, Scott, any of us here inside our live trading room, you let me know. You let me know here. And number 100 is up 9.8%. So, normally on other days, maybe if we had the time to go through all of it, we would, but we've already built up a decent list. There's not really like a great dire need to go through every little thing there. I mean, let's hop over to the loser side. Let's see if there's any good short trades to work with, or maybe any potential dead cat bounces here. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know if this thing's gonna be bouncing anytime soon. HCAI down 63%. Listen, we ended up catching a couple good dead cat bounces recently. I mean, we're just talking about Sunrun right now. That's a dead cat bounce and gap fill put together there. There's another one that we've done well on recently from yesterday, RCKT. It's actually at the high of the day right now, this thing here too. But it's not to say, though, that it's going to be a gap fill or a dead cat bounce, whatever you want to put your labels on for it. It doesn't mean it's going to be right away on the same day. So just focus on the trend first. If this wants to prove itself to us tomorrow morning, and if we start seeing some shorts covering here, then fine. Like that would be great. But don't get stuck watching the grass grow when there's other opportunities out there that are just better. Oh God, Bulls, Bullz. All right, so don't tell me. Oh my God, that's so bad. Listen, if anyone here is on social media right now, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., we always say just follow us on YouTube, namely, and all of our social media follow us, but especially YouTube at Cyber Trading You. I got my give me a quick sec here, folks. There we go. All right, cool. Had to flip the camera right there. I got a little reset there. So, anywho, if you're on social media, follow us on Twitter as well. But on Twitter, man, I've been talking about this for a little bit. There's like people out there that are not real educators out there. They're kind of just, attention, you know what? And they just want the engagement, the clicks. They monetize off of it. They'll just say anything out there. They'll throw shit against the wall and hope it lands. And if it doesn't, they don't really care because as long as people retweet them and like them and comment them, that's how they make their money. There's someone out there with like 300,000 followers on Twitter. I've been talking about this for a little bit. That has been pumping out like, oh, Webull is going to be the best swing trade out there. Oh, it's ready for a buy right now. Look at this indicator. Look at that. And like I've seen them do this before with Celsius. That's where I nailed Celsius as a swing trade, at least off their earnings here, because I wanted to prove a point. Well, I'm not taking a swing trade on Webull just yet because this thing is just making lower highs, lower lows. I took a stab on it maybe like a week and a half ago thinking it could be that moment, but quick in and out. You realize it's not the right time, if not even the right place. So lower high, last few days, this thing was tanked. That's where like Fausto and myself just scream from the mountaintops. You got to learn before you could earn. Don't just like trust random name XYZ out there on social media. And I mean that even for me. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, if you don't know me from your left hand off your right, hey, join us inside our live trading room and then, gain our or we'll gain your trust, whatever it is. And then from there, the more that you see how possible this is on a daily basis, you'll look to try and apply strategy. So, it's just to say, don't just buy off of like, so-and-so name on social media saying, oh, this might look good. Got to join us first. You got to understand why they're saying that to begin with. So, Webull, either way, not a great trade. Gonna move on from it either way for right now. What else we got here? I don't really care for attention as much. I'm in it to educate. I'm in it to just be a part of this company because honestly, I've been here for a little while. I got a good deal going right now, so why go anywhere else? But otherwise, if you're doing this for attention, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Pony, things at the low of the day. It is hard to borrow my platform. If you can get the shares to short this, I'm going to put this on our list for you. I can't short this. Hard to borrow for me. Maybe if you request the shares, you could try and get it. But if it's easy to borrow on Quest Trade, Interactive Brokers, Fidelity, Thinkorswim, etc., could be a good short trade for you. So I'll put it on our watch list for those members here. SOC, this dropped off nicely today. I don't really know too much about this company. Sable Offshore, I think got crushed in like the late morning, early afternoon. A little flat right now. Maybe a good side list stock heading into tomorrow. Naka, I think this is the KDLY company, Nakamoto off the Bitcoin conference. Not much else looking great. I saw some news come out at Tesla the other hour, I'll call it. So Elon bashing the big, beautiful bill that came out. And that's how we'll call it because he's firmly against it, it seems. He made a couple of like tweets like firmly against what the Republicans are looking to pass. Now, listen, I don't know the first thing about politics. I don't really like to keep my hand in that hat. But just to say, though, the reason why Tesla's dropping is because Elon left Doge because he wanted to focus on his companies, right? That's the whole reason, right? I mean, tell me otherwise. So it led to a good reaction at first when he made that announcement. It's not surprising to see Tesla stock crash because shareholders are probably asking, Elon, why are you still talking about politics? I thought you said you were going to focus back in on your companies. You're going to focus in on XAI, on X itself, on Tesla, obviously. You got the robots and all of that stuff. So shareholders probably asking, like, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you tweeting all this off? Now, there are probably people that are just frantically selling, maybe because they think there's going to be a larger drop off in the market. Maybe they hear about things going on with China or Russia, Ukraine, whatever it is. China in the Indo-Pacific region. This creates some good volatility. No matter whatever you want to call it, this just creates great volatility. Tesla led to like a 10-point drop, now a 5-point bounce, pretty much halfway recovered. So I'm going to put Tesla on our list, the TSLL trade as well, at least as a day trade. And if you're like a long-term Tesla bull, then this created a great buying opportunity for right now. Now you got to manage it to make sure it continues to hold higher lows on the daily chart. But looks good so far. Now, as far as like more generalized like fear of the market dropping off, I wouldn't pull hairs out just yet. I wouldn't try and be contrarian trader and look for like the short and the crash and the recession. You heard me talk about this with Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Charts speak for itself, right? We talked about this a couple months ago, where as far as the market's dropping off, all right, well, there's room for entries. But if you keep seeing higher lows and then a breakout again, you better cover your short before you get run over by the train, because this ended up continuing to push up where this gap didn't even get fully filled. Got like barely filled, like partial fill, and then right back on up. So goes to show how strong this market overall is. Do not look to try and be contrarian trader if there's no reason to be based on the chart. Now at Tesla, hey, we'll see if Elon keeps chirping about, the big, beautiful bill, politics, this and that. Something tells me he'll keep talking, right? Because again, speaking of attention, I'm sure that he craves the spotlight a bit. So, like him or hate him, it's going to create volatility. So for us as day traders, we're at least going to follow Tesla. Now, as far as, again, the long-term move, just take it day by day, week by week. Obviously, anything out there that may happen with Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, Indo-Pacific region, markets collectively would crash in that situation. But if you're too scared to risk money, you're never going to make it here in this industry, in this business. So it does begin with just confidence within risking your money, and then seeing just how it plays out day by day. That's all. Scared money don't make no money, right? So that's the best way I could phrase that. All right, folks, we're going to finish up at least. We got to make sure Fausto's prepped up, ready to go for class. Last call here from our students inside our live trading room. AQN, it's up a little bit. Algonquin Power and Utilities Corp. Nice slow stock if we're looking for like a change of pace type of trade there later. Because we could always go for a slower stock when we have some more volatility on our list. Yeah, I mean, we could put this on our watch list at least. CLSK from Dave. Let me just check in on Bitcoin altogether and some other mining stocks. Dave, I know, is doing well specifically on CLSK. Mara's up a little bit more spark to it. The same. Wolf. Bitcoin, moved back up towards this top here. Trend line developed here at this point, held pretty well. Want to see a clean pop here at this point. We called out the overnight move and pop up on Bitcoin. So far, so good. But much like I just told you, same to be said with me on Bitcoin, still got to make sure we take it day by day. We've been holding higher lows the last 3 days in a row. Very good sign. We closed over a big support level I was looking for it to. That's a good sign. But still, though, just you got to take it day by day. Any news that comes out could spike the market. But so far, you know what? I'm going to keep the mining stocks on the side for right now, Dave. They're tradable. If you're already in them, I'm rooting anyone on. I hope they pop. But normally for the afternoons, I'll just say this, it's extremely rare for these mining stocks to make a faster run in the afternoon than they made in the morning. So even if they go a little higher, it's more of like a crawl into the close rather than a run into the close. Trust me, I know from experience because I've been teased by them umpteen times over, 1,000 times over, my 10 plus years with Fausto. Trust me, it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like I felt like 1,000 times over. One of the times I got it right and they all ran pretty well. But, if they move up a little bit, hey, ride it out, right? I'm sure you're in from a good price on CLSK. What do we got here? Gurkhan on YouTube. My apologies for possibly butchering your name. Do you mainly trade small to mid caps? Yes, we do, but we'll also trade the large caps, though, just like we talked about with Tesla here. I know that we just came off. No, I lied. We're going into CrowdStrike earnings after the market closed today. So CRWD is a larger cap that we're going to keep our eye on for earnings. But we do often, trade the smaller caps because they come off of news. They'll make more explosive pops. BMLG, I think. Mix up my names. What was the stock that we just called out earlier? The one that Roberto did pretty well on, the BMGL. BMGL, dyslexic here. So, hey, this stock did very nicely for us yesterday, and more so it was in like the pre-market hours. It was like even a couple of days ago here, ran up nicely for us. They definitely have more opportunity given how much percent they can move up more, up or down. So that's where our focus is really. Oh, absolutely. Well, Gurkhan, so joining us, perhaps maybe a bit of miscommunication on YouTube, perhaps, but hey, this is where we say the two most powerful words with trading are the words if and then. If and then. So, hey, if there are certain strategies or if there are certain criteria that line up, we'll look to take an entry. We have certain expectations if we're going to take an entry. But what happens if it doesn't perform to our expectation? Then, which is the other powerful word, then we're going to expect to see more of a pullback the other way. So as long as you're accepting of what happens if what happens fails, then you're going to be able to minimize your losses pretty easily. So it's all about putting your seatbelt on. It's all about making sure you're accepting of what happens if this doesn't work out the right way. We have the chance to be wrong. We want to make sure that we're out before we're very wrong. So that's what we teach our students inside our live trading room, though. Hey, otherwise, we look forward to you and other members on YouTube, social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works, just joining us inside our live trading room in due time. But we stream live each and every morning, each and every afternoon, 9 o'clock in the morning, then 2:30 Eastern here. So we're going to jump off for right now. We got our advanced class coming up in just about 10, 12 minutes, 3:05 Eastern. We'll kick things off with Fausto trading live. And Bill saying trade NVIDIA and Hood. Let me take a quick look on NVIDIA. NVIDIA had a good pop earlier today. If the markets sling higher into the close, then there's a good chance NVIDIA could be a good after hours move into tomorrow. Robinhood might have some better power to it, more potential. This is getting close to all-time highs. People are like, oh, it's at all-time highs now. You got to go back to here, back to August of 21. Topped off around 85 it was. So, minimal historical data to get up towards there, but basically that's what you want to focus on for an all-time high. PLTR popping. Yeah, that is a nice pop there. Yeah. All right, at the horn, Yehuda. At the horn, this PLTR went in the hoop. We are good to go with this. We'll add PLTR to our watch list. And that does it, folks. So, hey, if you're joining Fausto in class, make sure that you click the link to join us coming up at 3:05 Eastern for Yehuda, Bill, Dave, Leda, and all of our gold, platinum, or diamond level CTU students. And then otherwise, just give me a quick second. I'll untie the tongue. Got my water here. We'll be good to go coming up. Top of the hour, 3 o'clock, 3:05 here. I'll talk to you all soon.